Hey, saltwater anglers, and welcome to the Lower Chesapeake Bay Fishing Report, your local report, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. This podcast is part of the Great Days Outdoors Network, and each week we'll be talking to local experts to learn ways we can become better anglers in our pursuits offshore, nearshore, and inshore. To keep this amazing fishery healthy and thriving for generations to come, remember to protect what you pursue. Summer fishing is fired up with warm water and hungry fish moving into the bay. So let's hear who's making the show possible, and then we'll jump into the reports. Check it out. AFTCO has a gift for our listeners. They're now offering a camo sunglasses cleaner cloth with any purchase of AFTCO products. Whether I'm walking the dock or the deck, I love my AFTCO fishing boots. You cannot beat the comfort. And as temps warm up, the Samurai Sun Shirt will keep you cool and protected. To get your coupon code, just text LCBFR to 779-345-2918. You'll get subscribed to our email list, and we'll send you the promo code via email. Welcome to this week's show. My gosh, I am so inspired and excited for fishing, and I think it's in part because the weather has finally gotten good, and I've been so blessed to get out twice now. Once to go chase flounder, and another time with my good buddy Alex Field with Alex Field Real Estate and Property Management to go on cobia opening of cobia day and catch cobia. So it's going to be a good summer. It's feeling good so far, and I wanted to talk to a few people this week because there's also been some exciting stuff going on offshore, but there's been a lot of inshore activity too. And we have the start of tournament season. And one of my favorite tournaments of the year is the Hooked on Hope Spanish mackerel fishing tournament hosted by the one and only Mike Roby of Hooked on Hope. So welcome back to the show, Captain Mike. How are we doing today?
Doing fantastic, Luke. Thanks for having me again. And you're right, it's that fishing time of year, and we're getting ramped up for our seventh annual Spanish mackerel tournament. So it's getting exciting already.
Number seven, dude. That's incredible. I think every time I'm down here in the Lynnhaven, I end up seeing the Catching Memories boat go by, and it always reminds me of what you do, what you stand for. So for our listeners that are hearing your voice for the first time, take us back to the beginning. Where did Hooked on Hope get its birth from? Where did the idea come from? And then what is it that you guys are doing, high level? What does the organization do?
Yes, our youngest daughter now is 13, but she was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 2.5. And I have two other kids as well, older son and a older daughter. And we always kind of loved fishing. That was kind of our escape.
Mhm.
So one day I was just like, we could do this for cancer families. So maybe we can do this. And it took a couple years to kind of get the ball rolling, but we've never looked back since. But that's kind of how it started. But there were a lot of people that helped us, and like I said, fishing was important to us, and now we're let people get out there and catch memories of their own. So it's pretty awesome.
I don't want to spend too much time on it because, I know it can be an emotional topic for a lot of families that are in the throes of pediatric cancer, but just maybe sort of a week in the life when a family is going through pediatric cancer, talk me through some of the primary challenges and stressors that kind of a diagnosis can present for the whole family.
Well, first off, it's a whirlwind when you first find out. Things move really quickly. And I mean, there's many hospital stays, many clinic visits, lots of medication. And again, I told you I have two other kids as well. They tend to kind of get left on the back burner a little bit. So the reason we started what we're doing is to make something for the whole family to look forward to, that everybody's important. You never know who's going to need their fishing charters or camping weekends. You never know who's going to need that the most. Could be the family, could be the
Mm,
mom, dad, could be the sibling, could be the captain, could be the mates.
yeah,
It could be a volunteer.
yeah,
But it changes really quick, and you have no choice but to just ride the roller coaster and put the faith in the doctors and the medicine, and that's
yeah.
all you can really do. But it happens really really quick.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't have any personal experience with cancer in my family or friends, but I try to imagine what it's like. I mean, I've had a personal health diagnosis where, like that you were saying, I relate to that whirlwind. Here's the pamphlet, here's the drug, and then you're just like, oh my God, like, is my life over? So I can't imagine what that's like when it's your child and you're, for lack of better terms, helpless as an adult parent, other than just like you said, trusting the doctors, trusting the medicine. So how like transformational or refreshing is it to just go get out on the water? Does it really like just take your mind completely off of it for that time that you're out there?
Oh, I absolutely agree that it does. I mean, we hear it over and over and over from our families that they really just enjoy being on the water. We catch a lot of fish. I've told you that before. Everybody catches fish all the time, but they always come up with something else, whether it's a dolphin or a turtle or the breeze in their hair, or the conversations. And I truly think that most of the time they don't think about what they're going through when they're out there on the water. I really
Yeah.
do think it gives them at least 4 to 6 hours of, kind of forgetting about it and just
Relief.
not worrying about it. Just
Yeah.
say we'll deal with it tomorrow. That's
Yeah.
tomorrow's problem.
Yeah, and it gives you a lot of fresh things to talk about too, because you just had this awesome experience together as a family, and like you said, just change up the environment, go be outside in the sun, and making those memories together that you're going to treasure and hold on to for the rest of your life. Regardless of which way the cancer treatment goes, whether that's full remission or passing. You are getting to make those incredible memories and joyous memories with those loved ones along the way. So. Fast forward, you get this crazy idea one day to have a fishing tournament. So, how does that work? Where does the money go? And also, tell us the connection between once the tournament happens and the funds are raised, what do you use those funds for? Because this is the part that I think is really cool.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so the tournament came about, like I said, it's about almost 8 years ago now. This is their seventh one, but it came about a little bit before that from my buddies Daniel LeGrand and Joshua Bourne said, "Hey, man, nobody's doing a kids tournament anymore. We should do a Spanish mackerel tournament." And I think we might have been sitting in Bally's too, because that's where we do our awards party.
Right.
And I told them two things. I said, our families have to be involved and we have to make money. We cannot lose money because the money that we use from this tournament, from the 50% of the entry fees and then the raffles and the merchandise that we sell, all that money goes directly back into providing fishing and fun for our pediatric cancer families through fishing charters and camping trips. So I was kind of like, yep, those two things. Our families have to be involved. We've checked that every year. Every year we've made money. So it's super important. It's our biggest fundraiser and actually our only fundraiser that we truly do for the whole year.
Okay, very cool. And that's what I think is special about it is that, I look out there and I see guys like, Captain Eric Myers, Captain Josh Bourne, Captain Trip Seed, like you said, Captain Daniel LeGrand. There's probably others that I'm forgetting about in the moment. I know Josh's daughter Ava is really involved, Ava Bourne, and she has her, tight lines for tiny fighters that she now does. I would have to dare say was somewhat inspired by you and what you're
Mhm.
doing. But these guys actually will take these families on their boat like a regular fishing charter and take them out there for the day. And that entire experience is paid for, including the tips for the mates and everything, 100% by Hooked on Hope. That's badass, man. I love that.
That's
That's
100% correct. And I always tell brand new captains that want to help us out, I will allow them the grace of just doing one for free because they always want to do things for free. But
hmm
they have insurance, they have fuel costs, they have their mates, slip costs. I say, all right, I'll let you the first time. You can do the first one for free, and then we work out a fair and reasonable deal where they're not losing money and the mates are
right.
taken care of. And I think it's really just good for the entire community. So that's good for
Uh,
everybody, and that's why we raise money so we can do things like this and make people pretty much whole in what they're doing.
Right. And as a nonprofit, everybody that if somebody wants to donate, they don't have to just be in the tournament. If somebody was listening to this and got inspired and said, "Wow, that's something I really want to be a part of," even if it's just as a financial backer or an angel investor or whatever, uh, is that something they could do as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that on their hookedonhopevb.org website page, even on the vbmackerel.com website for the registration for the tournament. There's a link on there where you can do one-time donations as well. And they can always reach out to me directly if they want to talk a little bit more about, some other opportunities. My phone number is 757-472-7212. Love to have a conversation with anybody that wants to help. And one other thing, money's always kind of the best thing for us to receive, obviously.
Right.
But with our charters, we have supplies that we use as far as like waters, goldfish, hand sanitizers, sunglasses. We just came up, we haven't pushed it out onto our social platforms yet, but we have an Amazon wish list of those items. And I think the most expensive one is maybe $20.
hmm
So anybody can go in there and spend $5 and you'll send some goldfish directly to her house. Those are all things
Nice.
that we need for our charters that we're doing for these families. So that's another easy way. It doesn't have to be like $500, $1,000. Love that. If they want to do that, that's
Right.
fantastic too.
You could
But it
buy a
can
lot
be
of
as little as say
goldfish.
five
Yeah.
bucks. It
Yeah.
helps out. It helps out.
Yeah, that's something I think, a lot of folks that are, have been successful, maybe God's blessed their business or whatever. They're a person that's a resource, right? It can be tough to pick charities, and obviously I'm super biased to Hooked on Hope because I think it combines some of my favorite things, fishing, families that are going through an impossible time, and then giving them that sense of hope and that experience and memory. So if anybody, is listening and identifies with this, I would definitely say this is one of the best types of fishing related, nonprofits that you could get behind in our local area that is directly impacting families in our community that are dealing with pediatric cancer. Having been to your awards party at the end of the year and getting to meet some of the families and hear from them firsthand, that to me is it's inspiring because you're hearing from the children, you're hearing from the mothers and fathers of what this organization has given their family that without it, you know, I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into this, but I've been in some tough times in life where you just needed someone or some little thing to happen to give you just a little flash of hope. And that little flash of hope was enough to hold you through that impossible time. And so I just think about every little dollar that comes in and every little goldfish that gets bought that leads to a fishing trip and a memory, could be those little flashes of hope for these families that keeps them in the fight and keeps them from giving up when it gets impossible.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I mentioned it earlier. It's not just about the child that's battling cancer. It's not even just about the family that's going through it. It really is a community thing. We're all doing this together as a community, and there's been new friendships made. Just numerous conversations, and it's really way more than a fishing trip. And I'm super proud, and I'm inspired by all the help. I mean, you say you're inspired by what we do. I'm inspired by what people do to allow us to do what we do.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
community thing.
And it's funny, you never know how this thing could grow in the future. I was on a plane ride down to Orlando recently, and I was sitting next to a neuroscientist who lives down in the Florida area. And next thing you know, we're talking about fishing. Oh, I love fishing, my kids. And I'm telling him about Hooked on Hope, and he's like super involved with his church. And he's like, man, I want to do something like this. So he said he was going to try to
That's
look into
awesome.
ways to do something like that down there where he's like, I've got this whole
Fantastic.
network of fishing buddies. He's like, we could just start raising money and do the same thing. I'm like, do it. So it's
Look,
cool, man.
absolutely.
It's
I love
contagious.
it.
Um,
I used to think, I'd want to go out to like South Carolina or Florida and start Hooked on Hope there, but we have an awesome fishery and I got the greatest people right here. I just rather bring everybody from throughout the country here to Virginia Beach.
Dude, it's such a great community. I was the other day, I was driving down the road and I get a text from Mike Hosang with Fishing for Mortgages. And he's like, hey, you're over there in the marina, right? And I'm like, yeah. And next thing I know, he's like, well, dude, I'm going to drop some buckets off on your boat. And I said, no, don't you dare. Stay right there. I'm about to turn in. So I turn in, and all of a sudden we have this little reunion where I get to meet Mike. He's been on the show for like almost 2 years. I've had Jenny on the show several times. So Jenny and Eric Myers with Heads and Tails are about to take off to take these awesome chicks from Richmond fly
Mm.
fishing. They were
Oh
like
yeah,
the
I
fly
saw
fishing chicks,
that.
right?
That's right.
And super cool. They're going on the pink boat, of course. And
Mhm.
Jenny was with them. So all of a sudden, you got Hunter Myers, Eric Myers, Ava Bourne, Eric Myers, Jenny Olmson, and then Mike Hosang. We're all like everyone's shaking hands and meeting for the first time in person, and we've all been like friends through the community forever. And I'm just like, man, this is
Love
so
it.
cool. This is what it's all about.
It is. It's always a pleasure being around a fishing community. They will do anything for you. 100%. They will do anything that you need. You can call them middle of the night. They're there for you. It's not always like I said. It's not just fishing.
Turn your dock into more than just a place to park your boat with Slipski's Dorado Oasis cover. Engineered for both beauty and protection, the Dorado Oasis transforms your dock into a shaded, all-weather living space, perfect for relaxing by the water or entertaining friends. Built from marine-grade aluminum and premium fabric, it also provides year-round protection from sun, rain, and debris. Whether you're lounging dockside or keeping your boat covered and ready to go, Slipski delivers comfort, convenience, and peace of mind. Slipski, think outside the boathouse. Visit slipski.com. Speaking of fishing, you spend a lot of time fishing. You're no slouch when it comes to fishing, and you've sent me a bunch of really cool pictures lately. So first of all, tell us, where are you fishing right now primarily?
Primarily fished in Lynnhaven Inlet. I've been usually stick to the western branch side. Kind of Great Neck Point area. I mean, you see me out there all the time.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah. And what's been biting?
so red drum for me, I've had mostly red drum, and probably in the last 2 months, all over slot. I think I've caught five striper. and a bunch of bluefish. But my primary target is red drum.
Red drum. And you've had some really interesting encounters. Tell us about this with the tags.
Yeah, so I started tagging for the Virginia Marine Resource Commission this year, and I started on May 4th tagging. I've tagged 20 fish. I take my buddies out there fishing, so sometimes it's their fish they catch, but we've recaptured three of the same fish in those two
What?
months in the same spot too. Not a different spot, same spot.
No
So
way.
that's kind of mind blowing to me. I thought they would like move around a lot more, but apparently they like to hang out in certain places.
So, okay. That really piques my interest. So you've caught recaptured three fish fishing in a similar area. What are you throwing typically? Like when you go fishing, what do you look for water temperature wise, current wise, and structure wise to get located to actually start fishing?
Well, look, I love fishing the docks along the pylons. I have to have really strong braid, 60-pound leader, big 5/0 circle hooks with some croaker. I personally like the outgoing tide the best, but any tide, incoming, outgoing, as long as the tide's moving,
Hmm.
they're usually pretty active. And I mean, to be honest, we've caught them on slack tide in the last 2 months too. So that's kind of like, okay, how'd that happen?
So heavy braid, what pound braid are you using?
Yeah, right now I'm using 50-pound braid,
Okay.
and I have 60-pound leader on there, about 3 foot leader, and then a big old 5/0 hook with pretty much 4 to 6 inch live croakers out there is what's been tearing them up.
That's crazy. So you've obviously been fishing with old Eric Myers a time or two because I remember him
That's right.
telling me one time about that because I was like, wait a second, 60-pound leader in the inlet, and why the heavy leader?
Because I think we both like fishing around pylons. We got to have that extra strength around the pylons because these fish are pretty smart and they're savvy. There's not most of the time it's not the first time they've been caught, especially these over slot ones. So I
Obviously,
think they
because
dive for these pylons.
you
That's
proved
right.
that by
That's right.
recapturing them.
That's right.
So will
That's
they?
right.
So they're obviously not leader shy then. Is it clear water, brackish water? Like what does the water look like when they're feeding?
I mean, obviously it's Lynnhaven. It's fairly green right now. It's not
Yeah.
super clear. I think temperature is about 80 degrees the other day, which is kind of wild. It kind of changed real quick in the last probably 3 weeks because it was hovering around 68 for about a month.
And then jump
And
12 degrees?
then it would get up to like 72, 74, and I saw 80 the other day when I was out there. But it was
Dang.
96 degrees outside though.
That's true. And you get back up in the Western Branch, you're in what, like some areas you're in pretty shallow water, like 5, 6 feet roughly.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, primarily I like to stick where I've been catching most times about 11 to 13 foot.
Okay.
But I do try to stick as long as it's 7 to 8 foot and current's moving. It's usually pretty good. I haven't had much success on shallow water redfish yet, so I'm hoping that changes, and maybe I missed it doing all this bottom fishing, but who knows?
Well, it sounds like you've been catching, which is again what it's all about is going out there having fun, catching some fish. What went through your mind when you caught that tagged redfish? Did before you looked at the tag closely and realized that it was yours from just what days or weeks ago? Did you think that it was possible you had recaught like the first one? Obviously, the second and third, I'm sure you're like, ah, yeah, this could happen. But the first one, did it cross your mind that it could be yours?
When I first saw the tag, because it was fairly fresh, there's nothing really on it, and it's kind of placement of where I've been putting them, and I looked at them like, dang, that's the number, that's my number. It wasn't the actual. I didn't actually catch that one the first time, but I did recatch it.
Okay.
And then we caught one on Memorial Day. My buddy Chris on kill shot caught, I think it was like 30 and a half inches, and I caught it 2 days later in the same spot.
That's
Like
wild.
literally, I feel like the line was in the exact same spot.
So you have my wheels turning for a future fishing tournament fundraiser for Hooked on Hope. So I think we get a like, bright blue or bright green, tag, maybe like 10 of them, right?
All right.
And then we go out early in the season and we catch 10 fish, we're not going to say exactly where, but somewhere in the Lynnhaven.
That's right.
And then we sell tickets, maybe $50 a pop or whatever, right? We get somebody to donate something really cool, like maybe a small boat or
Right,
something,
right.
right? And then we sell tickets for $50 a piece. Anyone can buy a ticket and you go fishing. And if you capture the first person to capture a puppy drum with a green tag in it wins the prize.
That'd be kind of look. I might even sign up to do that. That sounds like a
Doesn't
challenge.
that sound fun? That'd be so cool, man. We could get like, attention all local, marine boat owners. If you have a, 16-foot Carolina skiff that you'd be willing to donate, please reach out to Hooked on Hope now, so we can do this really fun tournament.
Yeah, give them like a month or so to fish, because they're probably not going to catch it in one day.
Right,
At
right.
least give them a good time frame to go out there and try it.
Could you imagine catching the tagged fish and having not bought the $50 tag and miss out on the chance of like a $10,000 boat? That would
Somebody be
be
mad.
that would be
Somebody be mad.
miserable. Miserable. Um,
It is wild though. I just like I said, I'm surprised. I guess I'm learning each year, but yeah, Eric, he's taught me a lot over the years, and
yeah.
I pay attention.
Yeah. There,
And
it's funny you say that. Every time I listen to some of the captains talk, like you have to listen with a real keen ear because they'll drop little nuggets of wisdom into conversation that if you're not paying close attention, you won't pick up on exactly what it is they just said.
Mhm.
But those little nuggets are in there. It's not an accidental or Freudian slip. Like they do certain things with a lot of intentionality for very specific reason. And like that leader, that's one of those things where you're like, why? It's like, well, you catch a fish around a pylon, it's going to drag you into the oysters. You need that to be able to horse them out of there. What bait you said? Did you say live croakers is what you're using?
Yes, early on I was using crabs before I could start finding the croakers, but last month or so I've been just going out and catching my own croaker right there in the inlet too. Just
Mm-hmm.
using those on the hook, put it in the back towards the tail, and they still swim around real nice, and it works.
A 30-inch drum will eat a 8-inch croaker.
Oh, yeah. Smoked them, whole thing.
Really?
Yep,
No way.
smoked them.
That's insane. And circle hook, obviously, so you let them eat it, so it's
Exactly.
obviously down in their gullet before you pull that hook. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I
I
used use a little 7 foot black hole charter special rod with 6,000 Shimano Saragos on it. So got
wow.
a little bit of backbone to get them in, and good gear ratio.
So it's almost like a cobia rod.
That's what I use for cobia too, and the big
Really?
rig. Yeah,
That's
same thing.
crazy. That's crazy, man. What a cool way to fish. That's a lot of fun. And when you're catching those little croakers, what do you use to catch those guys?
Just fish bites, and the old double, two hook system, and drop it to the bottom.
And just yeah. So
It's
you
magic.
you don't fuss with the sabiki rigs.
No, I got a couple people. I know Eric's got one of those, and one of my other buddy has one, but I've never used them. I just do the old fashioned way. Because
Yeah.
I mean, really, most of the time we're catching like one at a time. Every now
Right.
and then you'll get two at a time, but
Yeah.
spend about 45 minutes to an hour and catch 20 plus or whatever.
Yeah. So it's almost like a little miniature sea bass rig where you got like your two little dropper loops with small
Exactly.
hooks and then
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly.
Well, switching gears back to the tournament. So, when is the Hooked on Hope Spanish Mackerel tournament? And what are the general rules and logistics for a team to get registered and be ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. So this year it's on August 8th. We'll have the captain's meeting on August 7th. The entry fee is $250. The main rule is you have to have a kid under 18 on the boat to register and participate. We do a nice big party at Ballyhoo's afterwards with bounce houses and food and face painters and cool raffle items. And, my master of ceremonies, Captain Reese, comes out there and does awesome activities. Simon Says is always a popular
Oh,
one for
that's
everybody.
a blast. Yeah.
And then anybody can register on vbmackerel.org, and everything's pretty straightforward on there. Follow our socials, Hooked on Hope VB on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll see updates. Right now, we have 20 boats signed up, which is pretty cool. We haven't really started putting too much advertisement out there. A lot of these people have done it over the years and
Yeah.
look for it, and they want to sign up. And have 15 of our pediatric cancer families that'll be fishing in the tournament this year. So all of their entry fees are covered, so the prize money stays up for everybody. And like I said, we keep 50% of the entry fee, and the other 50% goes between first, second, and third. And I think last year's winner, Captain Bill, on playing hooky, had roughly $9,000 for some Spanish mackerel, or one Spanish mackerel, really, because he had
I
that one
know
big one.
that's I remember that. He caught one Spanish mackerel the entire day, and that was the winning Spanish mackerel.
Yeah, this hopefully we'll have a better mackerel season this year. We had to pivot a little bit last year and add some croaker and spot for the young kids to at least be able to bring something to the scales. But hopefully they'll stick around a little bit longer this year.
I think there are going to be some big ones. I was up at Sam Rust Seafood about a week and a half ago, and up there with my buddy Brandon Overall. Shout out 110 Marine and Seakeeper. He put the Seakeeper ride on my buddy Dave's boat. Love that thing. But we went and walked through Sam Russ just to kind of like tour all the different rooms, everything from like the rough order to the packing, the cutting room, which was his favorite, just to see all the salmon and the tuna and the flounder and the bluefish getting cut and the Spanish mackerel. And then we're looking in the gut bins where, the carcasses are. And he's like, man, is that like a 30-inch Spanish mackerel? And like there was a bunch of big Spanish mackerel carcasses down in there. And obviously these are coming in from, commercial, I guess scene netters, sign netters, or purse seine netters, however they pronounce it. But it just goes to show there are some big Spanish mackerel hanging around. So they're probably moving up the coast from the Carolinas, I would bet. And I would hope we're going to see a real good showing this summer. I know a lot of the captains, Captain Zach Hoffman, Captain Bill, have already been having good catches of Spanish
Mhm.
mackerel. So I think we're going to be set for a really good season.
They're out there right now. I've been getting some pictures privately with some jokes on there saying I'm gonna put it in the freezer, and I keep telling us, yeah, try to get past Sarah, our Waymaster over there, see if that works out for you. But
Who's so who is your weighmaster? That's Sarah.
yeah, Sarah Williams, Josh's fiance, Kevin
Okay.
Josh's fiance.
Yep. Oh yeah, I wouldn't try to pull any fast ones on Sarah. She runs a tight ship.
Okay.
Yeah, she handles all of our company sort of like benefits, insurance, things like that. And if there's someone I would bet paying attention to the details, it's Sarah.
Yeah, and don't bring a fish that's too small. She'll get on you for that too. So
Right.
don't do that. That's the other rule.
Absolutely. Well, man, I'm
We're excited. We're excited.
I'm excited too. And is there anything else that we didn't cover relative to the tournament or Hooked on Hope that you want our listeners to know?
No, other than that, just come on out if you guys are at the Virginia Beach Tuna Tournament. Bob and the crew over there, they invite me every year to give away some cool raffles. I got a cool 50 wide pin reel this year for a custom tuna rod by Richard Wasden and Real Blessed. So
Whoa,
I always do a
that's a
nice tuna rod every year, and he gave me a gaff to raffle off, and I got a pretty cool sword bucket with like a knife sharpener and like 5 or 6 different of their knife buckets. So might have a few other surprises on there, but if you guys are out, stop by and see me. That's one of the ways we raise some money every year is through that tournament, selling raffle tickets. That's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, dude. Those are some incredible prizes. Richard, he makes some incredible rods. And what was that you said? There was a bucket full of sword knives, like the SORD brand, those new fancy knives.
Yeah, yep, that's ORD.
Perfect.
Yeah, they had I think it was going around there for a while. I want to say the bucket was like $799, but it's got like a knife sharpener and 5 or 6 different size knives. And I've used them. I like them. I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
it's a kind of an appropriate time for the tuna tournament. So you have all the different sizes, and for $20 for 5 tickets, you might win something nice.
Absolutely. I mean, it's funny. I was over there at Gilbert Eye Care today in Virginia Beach, getting a new set of Maui Gems, which is my favorite sight fishing lens by far. The HCL bronze with the gold mirror. I don't think you can beat it. It has this thing called squint technology. And when you look at the lens closely, you'll see that the gold mirror is only on the top and bottom third. So it cuts all the glare down using the top and bottom third, but then lets you have just that rich sort of contrast in the middle where the natural, HCL bronze lens is. And I'll tell you what, I was out there fishing with Alex Field on the first day of cobia season, and he just kept looking at me like, "How are you seeing these things?" And I was like, "I don't know, I just see them." I think I can't imagine my eyes are that much better than his, but I think that your glasses have a lot to do with what you see out there. And then the same is true for your knives and your cleaning station. Sword knives are bad to the bone. And then, of course, if you're ever at Long Bay Point or you're fortunate enough to have one on your dock, a killer dock cleaning station is about
Oh yeah,
as
yeah.
nice as it gets for
Mhm.
taking care of those fish properly. So, yeah, man. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for Hooked on Hope. Thanks for coming on the show and just sharing a little bit about your story, your passion for Hooked on Hope, and about the upcoming tournament on August the 8th.
Looking forward to it. Thanks again for having me, and I'll see you as I'm passing on the water sometime soon. So I'll be
Oh
out there.
yeah,
It's Father's Day this weekend, so it's one of those
that's
ones where we
right.
just get a couple-hour pass for free, so I don't have to
Absolutely.
worry too much. And
It's
I think the
time.
weather's
It's
gonna be good.
dads. Attention, all dads. It's time to cash in your Father's Day. The
That's right.
the forecast is looking very father friendly for
That's
going
correct.
out and fishing. I was My good friend Dave's daughter got married this past weekend, and we were flounder fishing the weekend before together. And the joke came up that her dad was the flounding father because he kept catching more flounders than everybody else. So, for all of our flounding fathers out there, I really hope that you're able to get out this weekend and go fish. Hopefully, take your kids with you or get a break from your kids, whichever you're in need of, and enjoy yourself. Well, Captain Mike, again, thanks for being on the show. Look forward to keeping up with your progress as we get closer to the event.
Cool. Appreciate you, Luke.
Absolutely. Folks, that's going to wrap up a really cool segment with one of my favorite guys here in the local community, Captain Mike Roby with Hooked on Hope. They do some awesome stuff for the community and families suffering from pediatric cancer. Please go check them out online and look for the upcoming event on August the 8th on Facebook. You're going to see a lot of chatter about it because there's a bunch of competition between charter guides for who's going to bring home the belt this year. So stick around for a quick word from our sponsors who make this content free for you each and every week, and we'll be back with you real soon. This podcast is brought to you by EMS and Indec PVC decking. Hooks rust, lines tangle, the one that got away always does. Some things aren't meant to last. This isn't one of them. For coastal homeowners, marina and dock properties, and waterfront builders, Indec delivers a premium finished surface without the constant upkeep. Indec's capped cellular PVC dock and deck boards never rot, clean up easily with soap and water, and offer strong slip resistance in wet or dry conditions. Indec, designed for what comes next. See the full line at pages.easternmetal.com/great days. The days of heading out and blindly looking for good fishing areas are pretty much over. Don't waste time and money on fuel searching for fish. What you need are the most recent, highest resolution images to not only know where to go, but where not to go. The knowledge provided by today's technology is critical when planning an offshore fishing trip. So make the choice that captains all up and down the East Coast make and choose Hilton's real-time navigator. The easy-to-use interface and excellent customer service will have you on the fish every time you go. Check them out at hiltonsoffshore.com. And we're back for segment number 2, and we're going to go deep into the blue with the one and the only Captain Bill Pappas. Welcome to the show, Captain Bill. How are we doing?
Welcome aboard Plan Hooky Charters. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I get so excited to talk to you because I just know that you've been out there fishing like a maniac and you've got some good fishing stories and always good fishing tips. But I got to say, we were just talking with Captain Mike Roby from Hooked on Hope, and he wants to know if you're coming back this year to defend your trophy from, last year's big win with your single gigantic Spanish mackerel.
You know we are, buddy. We definitely are. We've already got it marked off on our calendar. We need to send Mike a few bucks across just to let him know, man. We didn't want to put our name in so everybody will enter. And we
Let them think they've still got a chance.
Just kidding. Hey,
Uh,
totally. Hey, I'm totally playing, man. And
that's funny.
we're gonna
That's
put our name
funny.
in the hat, man. We're gonna put our name in the hat.
Well, I know this is true about going offshore because I just did it for the first time on my boat. You really got to go through and do your system checks and all that stuff and having your motors and your maintenance right. Obviously, you guys repowered with Troy Marine with those brand new Yamaha 300s or 350s.
350s.
350s, the V6 350. You got the Helmmaster, you got the joystick. Man, how have those things been going into the deep blue? Because you have been sending it.
Well, I gotta admit, when you go from 600 horses to 700 horses, you think you need a lot more hay, and you're gonna need a lot more gas, to feed these things. And to be dead honest, yeah, to be dead,
Stop.
to be dead honest,
It hit me slowly, but I just got the joke
yeah,
about the
right,
hay.
yeah,
All right, I'm
dude.
here. I'm back. I'm
All
back.
right, all right. Sorry, it was a muscle mean joke there, motorhead joke. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, you got to feed them. So I honestly thought I'd either have the same or I'd burn a little more fuel, but I'd have better performance overall. What I needed with the 30-inch shafts and the 25 compared to the 25s. But what I did find out is instead of when I built a 150-gallon canyon boat back and forth, that eventually when I got everything right with the 300s, I was around 135 gallons, 139, 130 sometimes.
Yeah.
But now with the new one, I can do 120, 130 consistently. The new one, I'm dropped down weight for sure. I did 100, 150, 180. This thing literally saves 20 to 30 gallons an offshore trip with the
Wow.
350s. It burns, if you think about it, it burns less RPM. At 42 to 4,800
Right.
RPM, you're running more gas.
Right.
And now I'm only running 38 to 4,200, and I'm actually going faster even.
That's
And
interesting.
and my gas mileage at before I could get 27, and these are numbers, guys, but they were quick. At 27 to 29 miles an hour, I was getting 1.4 to 1.5, and anything more than that, I was losing. Everybody knows their losing point. And then
Right.
once this was the new boat, I can get 37, 35, 31, 32, all that at 1.5, 1.4. So
Got it.
I'm cooking and just making great gas mileage at very good speeds. So it's been more efficient. It's got a deeper hum to it, and the fish really seem to like it. They like going up behind those white motors.
That's good.
Had some crazy flatline bites. We've had some crazy surface bites too lately, running some stuff off the top with some sterling tackle too.
Nice.
I got a great story for you too to tell you on that one on the offshore tip.
And I'm curious too, so like with those motors, going offshore and seeing that big of a fuel savings, did you adjust your from the 300s to the 350s, did you change your propeller from like a different, did you go to a different diameter propeller?
I'm a propeller nut when it comes to it, so I already had the four blades. When I got the boat, just some more stats to throw in real quick, guys. It was I had the boat up to 50 miles an hour with 8 people on it with three blades on it. Now that thing porpoises out of the water. It'll literally jump and just send you right out of there. I can do it with my hands and show you a lot better, but just picture porpoising, just launching yourself over a wave. When you throw four blades on there, I lost speed, guys, top end. But what it does is, and it's an oyster boat, man. Let's be honest. The Playing Hookie's a gigantic oyster boat with a tower. It's prettied up, but it's made to drag oysters around. It's made to go 30 to maybe 40, never
Yeah.
35, 30 with oysters, 25. It's not made to do all that hot rodding. So when I put the four blade on there, I slow it back down. What it does is when you go over the waves, it pulls you back down the other side of the wave.
Ah, okay.
It
So it really
literally
holds it.
it holds you in the water. Now it's not how fast you go; it's how fast you can go keeping your boat in the water.
Right.
That's the key. So that really helps out. Now the 30-inch shafts definitely help too, but those four blades actually went from one motor to the next, and you always prop it in as you go. And I can just tweak it to get 62, which you don't want. It's 61 is your max.
Yeah.
5,700 to 61 is ideal.
Right.
And so I back just a hair off. So I might, I could be under over, but the way everything is right now, it is excellent. It's
That's
unreal.
that's awesome to hear. And Troy and Andrew Kaiser over
Yeah.
there in service and sales, they hooked you up with a nice set of those motors as a sponsored charter captain. So I think they do something for charter guides that are licensed and all the
Yeah,
right
they
stuff
sure
over there.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they do.
take good care of you. So you've been going offshore. What have you been seeing? I've seen a lot of flurry of some big yellowfin activity, which gets me excited, especially considering that you got the tournament coming up next week, which takes me back to some of the stories of craziness from last year when you were doing all that wild stuff to be ready to go. So talk us through your last few
Oh man.
offshore trips, man. How's it been offshore? How's the tuna bite been?
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be like that this year of the tournament. That was a wild story. I'm glad that they call it the past. Holy
Yeah.
smokes. With the pumps in the middle of the night,
Oh
11
gosh.
p.m., tying the boat off, saying, bye, guys. I'll see you in 2 hours and a 7 hour ride out in 8 foot, 9 foot sea. Okay, so we're on to 2026. I got two great stories for you, buddy, lined up already for the cast.
Let's do it.
So the first thing I want to go over, guys, is the Tech Tackle Classic. It was the 2026 inaugural first year of the Tech Tackle Classic, guys. We had a tournament that this guy named Juan and we organized together. He had a crazy idea. I told you guys about this tournament we were having. We talked about it a few shows ago, where instead of having a golf tournament, he was like, "Can you get me a boat? We'll just duke it out with them." I was like, "You can get another boat." "Yeah, I can get another boat." And it became 9 boats, guys. So we got 9 boats together. We started directing a tournament, and we've got a venue. We got good old Dock Tails, and they did a great job for us there. And we also had a great job done for us for the Fisherman's Wharf and Bailey and JW over at Rudy Inlet Station. And we had a great time and a great event with these Tech Tackle Classic people. So we ran out our 9 boats all the way out there. And we all met in the gigantic circle. Some went a little bit this way, a little bit that way, a little further than they should. It was just awesome having us all out there. I ended up being a little bit to the north, and I had like the first skipjack on there. I was like, "Yay, all right!" Our boat was like pumped. I was like, "That's a tuna. Nothing else is caught. That's the winner right there." We're like, "Yeah, we're in the lead." It's funny how you go in the lead. And then
Yeah.
and then Chris goes, bang, I got some gaffers out here. I got a float. I can't find it. I was like, "Do you mind if I come help you?" Look, he's cool as can be. He's like, "Come on, man." And before I can even do it, I see another boat like hooked up, this real tall boat. Come to find out he had two big eyes on in there and he wasn't in the tournament. So we let him,
Oh,
he fought his fish for a while, either way, way before us. and our buddy Landon, what up, shout out, was on that boat. He was the mate, and we went past them towards Chris area. He was way far up out east of me, and sure enough, bang, 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 we get hit with 3 giant thumper gaffers, and we bring them in. The crew is pumped. They're fired up, man. They're having a great time. They're already like, yeah, it's on. We got if no tunas are caught, it's the biggest mahi type deal. We're like, yeah, we got the biggest mahi, having a good time. And
Oh, so that was a
then
category. Mahi was a category in the
yeah,
tournament.
yeah. And then I think it was probably Jake Bolt who hooked up. Yeah, it was. And then Zach, boom, boom, or it could have been Zach first, Castro and Hunter, and bang, bang. And then Zach eventually comes back and boom, he's got a big eye. Now we all like, oh, we knew. And then we were all juking and jiving. We all working in the same area. We end up finally at towards the end of the day. We found there was some other boats catching some good fish. Russ Costinas on Top Notch went out there,
Yep.
caught himself a nice fish. David Wright on High Hopes got himself a nice marlin. Eric Myers was out there on Heads and Tails, and he was down south and worked real hard on a blue marlin. Oh my God, Jake Bolts and them were on fire, man. They had some tunas with the new boat out there first. I mean, he literally went through fire and brimstone to get that boat there. He literally got the boat there, put in extra parts when everything didn't work out to literally drive it up the night before and run that boat out there
Dang.
and get this trip pulled off. And then he fought. I mean, we watched it, all of us in the blue water. Like, when you picture a tournament, you want weather. That's great. You want fish. That's even better. But to
Yeah.
have all your buddies all there in that circle like you pictured it and see Jake Bolts in the flying fishes, marlin, blue marlin flying out of the water, flying out of the water. And you're just watching the show. You're having a great time. And then the other boats, they find out that we're there from the south. They come flying in. They hook up some big eyes. You see big eyes being caught and other things. And then we get a sonar boat in the mix, and the sonar boat's calling out what he saw. Then all the other boats swarm where the sonar boat saw. He said it. And it's like, there's a no sonar tournament we pretty much have, but we ended up still doing it. We like those guys. They're great guys. So
Yeah.
it was cool having everybody out there, even them together, because they're just familiar voices on the radio that we're all friends with at the
Oh,
dock. So
yeah.
to have that camaraderie and have all those charters out there together, all of us swarming together was great, man. And we did find a nice pack of tunas jumping out at the water at the last second. We swirled them up, got it hooked up, and our junior angler grabbed the rod, and the fish ended up coming off on her, man. It was a
Oh,
good time.
no.
She lit us up. It was her turn, and it was like, oh, that would have been great. We didn't, it would have been great to have that. I was hoping she got to really feel that fight of that fish pulling. 'Cause those tunas are really, really maniacs when they get on like that. It was fun. So we
That's
get all the way
awesome.
back. We get the way JW does the weigh in. We Zach Castro wins and Hunter win the first place, and their team with the Tech Tackle Classic people win the on that side win first place, and it was a prize, nice prize associated with that. And
And that was a big old big eye that he caught that really helped set him over the
oh
edge,
my
wasn't it?
God, he had 3 fish. He would have won it regardless if he didn't have the shark. The other fish, he had the big eye and another one, and he got
That's
sharked on
awesome.
that one. Yeah, we do. And we stay. And look, they threw a great. The Tech Tackle people, they really threw a great party for us all. It was like good food from Doc Tales and Olivia and everybody over there, and
Yeah.
it was just great stuff, man. Coop, yeah, Coop over there hooked it up too. Will over there at Fisherman's
Docktails.
Wharf,
Oh, yeah, the
Fisherman's
wharf.
Wharf. Yeah,
Yep.
he's Fisherman's Wharf. And man, it was a great thing, man. So it looks like it's going to be something that we're going to do again next year. Now, look for next year.
Absolutely.
Don't forget second place, Jake Bolts and them. I think had it
Yeah.
flying fish, and I think third place was Russ Costinas on
Yep. Top notch.
Yep, and the boats I didn't mention was Show Enough did a great job. He was out there. They had a
Yep.
fish on and it came loose. And Eric Myers did real well that day too. They didn't have anything besides a mahi to come back with, but they worked hard on a marlin. They were in the group, and it was a great experience. I think I might have missed out one boat. It might have been the playing hooky boat, but I said me early. So who
Yeah.
else am I missing? We got everybody. We missing anybody?
I don't think
I'll come
so.
back to. Oh yeah, Scott. Scott Horton was out there on
Okay.
Not Telling. He did a great
Got it.
job. Had his crew some fish to fight, and it was great. So we got back. They had the great event, great trophy. They drank some beer out of the trophy. We all
Yeah, I
stayed
saw
around.
that.
We all did shots together. It was a great time. And for next year, we're going to we're going to have it where they double the size of it, because they have, I knew it would do that already, but I don't know how many charter boats we actually have that can take that many people, but hopefully we can already have another 5 or 6, maybe to 8 that we already want to add to it. So we'll be able to handle it. 'Cause
Hmm.
it's great having an equal playing field. We have
Yeah.
professionals taking them out there and their safety. So they're
Right.
having, it's kind of one of those, and it's also for business for the charters,
Right.
because can you imagine having an early June tournament and having all the charters get an offshore charter booked, and it actually fell on one. They picked one. It was one day or the other day as an alternate, and the fact that it was
A
good
pretty
weather
day.
on that
Yeah.
day. It worked out unbelievable. So
Yeah.
we're
You
thankful
can't
for
beat
all
that.
that, and we might, and we're thinking about opening it up to the public. And after we went through at the end of it all, we may just do that. So we'll see how that goes. And there it is on the Tech Tackle Classic. There's the first
Boom,
ever,
baby.
and
So
not tugging is a champ holding the
good
cup.
old, if there's a fishy guy out there that knows how to find tunas, it would be Zach Castro on the not tugging. That man loves some tuna fishing, and
Man, I had a good speech before I started the whole thing with all these captains and how I knew them, and I was like, I just told them I was like, as exact Jake Bolts and me and I myself are like, we have this thing called tuna fever. Like I'm shaking right now talking about it with you
thinking
guys,
about it.
like
Yeah.
just because of that's how we roll. Like that's just what we love to do. We love doing it. You know what I mean? It's good
Yeah.
stuff, man. Really good stuff.
Well, give us some tuna and some mahi tips. So we're kind of like we're right in that cusp of the season where we might be able to, get out there, and catch some mahi and some tuna. So, for us recreational anglers that maybe have a boat that can do it or this, that, or the other, what are the kind of key factors when you look at a water shot or you think about where you want to be to try to be in, target for mahi or tuna? What are some of those preliminary things that you're looking for, and what kind of tackle do you have on board when you go out?
First thing you got to have is a cell phone, and you got to poach every single person and hit up everybody on text and where they went. That's the first thing you barrage everybody you've ever heard of that fishes. The second thing you got to do is you got to follow people out of the inlet. You got to chase them down, dude. Do not let them get away. Then go right to where they're at. Third thing you do is fire your radar up. You got to have radar when you get out there to find other boats and go right to where they're at. The next thing you got to do is when they hook up, you got to slow down and go around them as tight as you could possibly get and make it really difficult for them to get their fish. Then after that, you will then hook up. You will hook up with a left hook, probably a right hook at the dock, and you'll hook up with plenty of those things. But the best
Uh,
tips I can get now back to fishing.
no,
So
the real advice, not
the
the
real
fake fishing
the
advice.
real no, that's what you're gonna get first. Oh, this cat here, dude. He just pulled that over. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Have to edit me out. He can get food now. He just pulled his whole bowl down. All right,
Poor
well,
guy.
hey, he's in there. All right, so guys, right now, listen, when it comes to this tuna fishing right now, you got to get up high, man. You got to get up in a tower, stand on the bow, do what you got to do. But look for and mahi fishing. Find the warm water, obviously. Look, use a shot. Do what you got to do. Find the warm water. You're right about that. The second thing you want to find is on a break. You want to find cold on one side and warm on the other. Then you found a break before it gets blended. Then you got to go to an area. The other thing you want to do is you want to read the water, man. You got slicks, go for it. You got birds. Oh, you're in there. You know what I mean? You want to go to whales. You want to learn patterns. You want to see. You don't want to really go to dolphins too much. I've caught tunas and dolphins, and a lot of us have, but it's not as easy as it would seem. So
Yeah.
you want to look, keep your eyes peeled. Now, when you're mahi fishing, say you're out there on a tournament or any other thing, you want to look for something floating. And once you see something floating, that's going to usually tell you it's got some mahi on it, unless it's a shiny balloon. By the time you get to a balloon halfway, just turn away or pick it up and pick it up and keep moving. Sorry, gaff it, keep for good luck and keep moving because it's
Yeah.
not going to have mahi on it. It just doesn't. Reflects or something, they don't go to balloons. But this
Interesting.
time of year, this is where the mahi are going to be. You're going to find them on grasslands, grass patches, place for easy bait. You're going to get a random pack that'll just jump you. As it gets later in the season, the mahi really get pushed in really hard, and you'll see them in different places in different congregations. But right now, it's going to be the tuna. So the tuna, I've saved up a great story for you guys. All right.
Bring it on,
So
baby.
here it is. Here's the great story to cap you in on the tuna, get you guys fired up. And it's going to come with a reel. So it's coming with a reel. I've got the
Good.
reel. I actually filmed it.
Yeah, the reels that you post are always my favorite because you always put the perfect song to match the reel.
This one, I actually, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. And this one is actually going to have no music because you're going to have the music that wakes up every fisherman in the middle of the night. The drag going, yeah, like yeah. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great one. So look at this. I didn't have my phone. It was the first day I didn't do my story, so this all might have been in the story. But I had Russ's brand new phone, this i17 Max Pro, blah blah blah, and this thing is taking like theater shots. So I'm up there
Yeah.
and I've got some brand new Sterling tackle. Shout out Steve and the guys. And I've got this new lure, which I can't tell you the name because they haven't
Uh-oh.
released it yet. It's top secret. And I use this sucker, and I wanted it out. Russell's like, "Where do you want it?" I was like, "I want this in there. I want this in here because the tournament's coming up." I'll tell you after that next time I talk to you
Yep.
where they went. But anyways, it's funny because he could use it on me next year, but I won't tell you before this year. Anyway, I don't want to get beat by it this year. Don't beat me for next year with my own
Use
just
it next
advice.
year to win. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so I've got this lure out the back in the shotgun. Now I'm up top. I'm 15 feet above the water or something like that standing. So I'm about 15 and 5. 5 foot of my arm straight out. So I'm maybe 20 feet off the water, and I'm way out the back with this heavier lure thing. And I finally see some fish, and I get around on these fish that I think I see these fish, and I kind of get around on them where you don't want to run them over or plow them, guys. You kind of want to drive past them,
Yeah.
stupid as it sounds, and then get them in the circle. When they say get them in the circle, it means drive past them and then turn the boat and get them in circle. They'll come out of there. One will come out, two will come out. Pow, pow, pow. You get your bites on. Everyone knows this, but I'll go over it anyway. When you get one bite on, you don't slow the boat down. You keep moving. You get another bite on. Don't slow the boat down. Keep moving. You get another bite on, another bite on until you got enough fish on. And that's when you slow down. So picture this. Most of our bites in this season have come right at the flat line. I'm talking 10 feet off the back. Boom, boom, boom. They start just chewing the back of the boat off when I've run these things over the right way where they split around the boat. And I've
Hmm.
watched them swim right around. And they literally just boom, 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 taking everything we've got. Or they'll come in from the side or something. They'll hit you here and here and here. And that's what you get. You can watch them bite in those patterns.
Right.
Well, when they bite on the sides, way out the back on a tracker, sometimes it's your only bite. It's a single, it's on the outside. You get that. You caught the edge of it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't see the rest of your baits in your spread for whatever reason. Maybe whitewash, maybe current, whatever happened. They didn't see it.
Yeah.
But if most times, if you get hit on your long line, that's your only bite sometimes because it's way out the back. There's nothing near that. So anyway, we get near these fish. We're scooping through. And man, I don't know, you just get these feelings out. So I was like, I'm doing it. I pull out and I arm out 1, 2, 3 full pulls of line and I hold it in one hand. And then I just let it go and then hold it with the other hand and I start just whipping the top line. I'm like whipping that thing with a full arm pull. I'm jigging this thing. I'm jigging it. And right when I'm on my fourth jig, I'm watching that back and I've got it on autopilot and I'm jigging. I pull it and it goes, I rips it out of my hand, holds it on my hand, and it doesn't pull it out of my hand. I'm holding it. I'm like, I gotta scream, I got him, I got him. And dude, I had so much adrenaline, I didn't want to let go of the line. I was holding him, like trying to choke him out. I was like, no, I was pulling back, like holding the string, holding the 80-pound test. I got him, I got him. And I was yoking away, like, and I finished finally. I'm like, and I pull it back, and I straighten out my other arm to get the line to go tight to the reel. And I let go of one arm, and it bam, we're on. I was like, we're on. They look up like, no way. They saw it. They're like, and as soon as they saw it, I was thinking, nah, it's gonna be nothing else, man. What do you know? But I kept moving, and then bam, another one hits, and then they started chasing up to the boat. Bam, we got another one, and by then I'm already filming, and then bam, another one hits, and I've got 3 anglers and Russ down below. And I've got beer, another one. Oh, I got 5 on. I was like, all right. I was like, all right, we got enough on. I was
Yeah.
like, we got enough on. I
Pull the
slowed the
boat
boat
back.
down because I could have literally kept hooking more, but I was like, nope, that's enough. I slowed her down right then, and then I
Jeez.
killed the video off, and and then one of them came off, and then we went 4 for 4 on the other ones, man. All of them got them all on the boat, all 40 to 50 pound slobs
Mm.
to put on top of the other 2 we got that morning.
Dude, that's
It was
epic.
excellent. Russ had his best day ever on the boat. He was killer. He was a machine. When it comes to being ready for the tuna tournament, he's probably got 30 tunas, 30
Oh, he's
yellowfin, maybe
now he's ready
something.
to rock. He's in the
Man,
zone.
he's got a lot of tunas for this season, for this so far. That's all I want to say. He's done really well.
And
Development,
how's
and even ours, even the way I've been driving the boat and keeping it moving for these gaff shots and stuff and working together, and it's been great, man. It's been really good stuff, man. That's what's gonna make it interesting and fun.
and you can decide whether we talk about this or not, but how strong is one of these 80 wides when it comes to like it can reel in a tuna. I mean, it
Oh,
could
we don't
reel
use
in
80s. We only use 80s. We only use 50s. We use
so
50s.
50s. So
Yeah, but
50s.
50s are strong enough. Put it in first gear. You put it in first and do it, man, with the charters.
Pure flat slick lures are tried, true, and guide approved. Slick lures catch big speckled trout, redfish, flounder, and more. You can cast them a mile, and they produce a highly erratic bait fish imitation with a twitching retrieve. The tournament winning slick has helped many anglers set personal best records. Whether you're fishing the OG slick, the smaller profile slick junior, or the versatile little slick, one is sure to find that unforgettable thump we're all after. Visit your local tackle retailer or pureflats.com for your favorite color and rigging combination. Go sling some slicks today. You can't catch them on the sofa. All right, so you obviously don't run the big like 80s like you do for bluefin, but you've got what, the 50s on board for yellowfin?
Yeah, man, I'm glad you asked that. You know what's funny? I'm not going to ask here on the podcast, but I'm going to ask here on the podcast 2 things. I'm really I mean, I know I got a big mouth and I talk like I with a lot of confidence. It's just the way I am. But I do tell you this: I am humble enough to know that I know nothing when it comes into. When you finally realize you know nothing, you finally know something. But
Yeah.
when it comes to that being said, I do want to eventually reach out with Shimano, and I want to reach out with Penn and figure out maybe see what we can get a sponsor for, because we definitely, I'm not saying we deserve it. We earned it. I do know we earned one or the other maybe.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, even as is a local shout out, we're looking for a rod builder too. And it's something they would invest in, we would invest in as well, and work with them and put it out there for them for good. We already used Richard Wasden shot out, buddy. There you
Mm-hmm.
go. No problem,
Mm-hmm.
man. Just use
Yep.
your casting rod the other day for a bull mahi on a buoy, man. Russ put me a piece of
Boom.
ballyhoo on there, and sure enough, it pulled it off there after a jack was being reeled in the buoy. The mahi came off, and I had the cobia rod, the baling rod out, and sure enough, he ate that and smoked it. And made our charter's day with the biggest fish of the day, buddy. Thanks a lot for that
That's
rod.
awesome.
But yeah, we want to get a local or a killer bee or just somebody who was like, "Hey, playing hooky, I didn't know you didn't have a rod builder or nothing." We want to go. We're gonna upgrade and do all our tackle over this off season. We're gonna get a sponsor for reels and work with somebody on that, and showcase our stuff, because we put a lot of stuff out there that people seem to want to see,
Yeah.
and we love sharing. That's Sharon's caring, so it's time for them
Yeah.
to. So
No, and
hungry.
every charter boat should have like that spread, when you look on the back and like everything matches. It's got like the
Yeah,
play and hooky
yeah.
blue,
Oh, Rick on
the
Why Not?
logo.
Look at Rick on Why Not, dude. Rick on Why Not. Definitely a prime example. All his stuff are the same rod. Boom, boom,
Right.
boom. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We got
Well,
that on sea bass. We
and
we got our sea bass like that, but that's about all.
yeah, and if you're a rod builder or if you're a Shimano or a Penn, if you're testing new gear or whatever, it's great to use a charter guide as your,
Yeah, reach
sponsor
out to
partner
Playing
because
Hooky.
because
Yeah,
you
reach
can
out to Playing Hooky. Give us a
yeah, you get to
shout.
put everything to the test. Like it's going to get put to the test. It's not going to be the weekend warrior that goes out, once, a month. Like it's going to get used every single day and you'll know if your gear is up to snuff or not.
Yeah, man, it gets tossed around a lot, and it'll do the same for all of us, man. We'll have a good time with it, man.
So,
But so it's been a great tuna season, man. You got the VBTT, the tuna tournament coming up
yep.
next week. That's going to be a great event. We look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do some fishing this weekend. We got a lot of boats ready to go out here this weekend if we get the weather to do it.
Yep.
And playing hooky still got a lot of offshore stuff booked up, and we got some July dates open for you guys. We're gonna be doing plenty of walk-ons, and the fishing's been great. I gotta admit, it's like it's you just gotta you gotta work up top for them and see them,
Yeah.
or you got to be in the right area at the right time and get jumped. But they are there, and there's little packs here and there. We got jumped in the blind the other day, and bang, we had two diesel ones. This girl Lily just reeled in. I don't know how it was 14, 15. She reeled a tuna just in no time. She smoked
That's
that thing.
awesome.
And then we
And
had the other one go off on a TLD 25.
oh gosh, that'll put you through the ringer. That's what I caught my
Oh
first
man,
yellowfin tuna on, man, and it was a serious workout and fight
it'll
just to
make
get
me.
that fish to
Yeah,
the boat.
yeah.
What do you typically do? And I remember this tip that you gave last year, and I think it's a great tip for bluefin tuna. But when you get to fighting a tuna fish, especially off of a center console, what is that pro tip? Like walk us through end game. Like how do you manage a fish towards the very end of the fight to make sure that you get them in the boat and don't lose them boat side, which is where they typically get lost is boat side.
Yeah, sometimes it's the speed. Sometimes it's the tuna. You got to tell when you got it here, just remember this. I'll tell you the mental part first, guys, just so you can take this part out of it. You got a lot of pressure on yourself. You want to go out there, you want to catch tuna. If you jump in a tournament, you got way more pressure on yourself than you haven't really practiced too much. You haven't been out there too many times just because weather's been tougher and the fish weren't really reachable. No one was, it hasn't been many boats out there, Luke, to be
Yeah.
honest. I've seen about 5 or 6 days recently. We've had lots of boats that are out there, lots of boats talking, and a little bit of radio chatter out of Virginia Beach here and there. So, you got to have the coverage sometimes to really help out. But to be honest, when you get out there, I mean, you got to just tell yourself, look, some of these tunas are going to be tunas, man. And they're the most frustrating but rewarding fish at the same time.
Right.
Some of them are going to spaz out and you're just going to lose them, man. Some of them are going to you're going to have the right speed. You're going to have everything. The tip I can give you, the same one I'll give you on the bluefin, is try to realize what side he's hooked on or wants to be brought in on. He's going to show it a few times.
Yeah.
We're all angling. We're all thinking speeds, numbers, tides, winds, numbers. So use these numbers. If he's on this side of the boat 4 times and he's been going to that side twice, he's going to want to be killed easier on the fore side. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
So that whatever side he's pulling the most on, he might go to the other side, but he might pinwheel back to his main side because of where the hook is. Now, another tip I just you want to use is you want to give it a little bit of speed sometimes, unless you're jammed up and you got way too many on. You're dead bringing in tunas with no throttle is not that simple.
Mm.
It is at a certain point when you've got them all right there, and, and that's all you can do because maybe you got something wrapped in your prop or whatever had
Yeah.
to happen. You had to stop because you don't want to run your spread over. Because a lot of things will happen to keep these fish where you got to have them in the fight. These fish are fast and strong, and they're delicious. That's the hardest part is when you lose a tuna, man. You all know me from the show.
Heartbreak.
Oh, it's just,
Heartbreak.
man, and now that's the last thing I'll probably end on is give you guys a quick yellowfin tuna recipe to how to cook a steak. Since I give you everything else on here, I don't mind giving a quick little do this because it's the best way to do it. Anyway, but yeah, man, that's the worst thing is when you watch a big blob of sushi go pop at the boat. Like,
Ah,
early out of the 30 something tunas we've caught this year, guys. I got videos of some like a whole tracker bar going pow, right and breaking off into the prop. I got a video of us. Man, we were in the prop, guys. I'll give you here's a pro tip. You're in the your fish got you in the prop. You've somehow been lucky enough to stop the boat. Then you look down and your fish is still on. You're freaking out. Stop first of all freaking out because that's what you got to do. Stay calm. Second thing is you get your gaff and you get out there and you reach all the way down under the motor with a curl and you pull the line. If you miss one way, go up and over the other way and you're going to curl the line. And when you get the line, you pull it over to the boat. You grab somebody with the gaff and then you grab the line and you start muscling the shit out of this thing. And you start pulling it up from 100, whatever's out left, whatever's in there left. And 3 times this year, we got the tuna.
no
Like we're talking
way.
from dead on the water. Pulled it all the well, one of the charter guests, and I love him to death, dude. He grabbed his put his pole down and started trying to leader him himself. And when he put it down, that fish had fins of his own and
Went right
took
into
off
the
right for the
motor.
prop, pulled off.
Oh,
Yeah, and sure enough, but
brutal.
we gaffed the line and got the other ones in the boat that got sharked. And then we got got halfway sharked, and we got the other one. And we started pulling that line and pulling that line, got it up to the top, and I popped a gaff in it and slung it in the boat. Russ leadering like a boss, dude. Got it all in there
Dude,
and got it killed. Got the line out of the motor. Did that. That fish didn't take a swim.
bad to the bone, man.
that fish did not take a that fish did not take a swim anymore, boy. That thing would have,
Uh,
I
Once.
don't think I don't think it could have swam, dude. I think with that shark in the water, it would have just froze up, man. It would have been like, ah, that's what it would have done, dude. I swear, man. I love Sterling tackle. It's the best, dude. It's got the tow weight of
Man.
probably 2 or 3 men, probably. I don't know. That thing's great, man. So
But man, I'll tell you what,
so
you are full of the one-liners today.
dude, hey man, I just know how to crack a joke for you,
Yes,
bud. So
yes,
look,
you
so
do.
look, hey, so look, guys, look, the tuna fishing has been great. This fish has been awesome. This guy came in with his family, left with 150 pounds of meat, dude. He was
Oh,
stoked.
dude.
He stuffed the whole freezer full at a hotel. Got him to bring up a deep freeze or something. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man.
Yeah, you cannot let that go to waste. That's for
He's
dang
taking to
sure.
Wisconsin. Shout out to Noah if you listen, and also shout out to Jose, man. Jose, one of our charters, actually, his girlfriend made me a skateboard with playing hooky, the bridge, the painted the
No
boat,
way.
painted Hawaii on it. I'm gonna make a post
Dude,
to thank him. I haven't done it
that's
yet, but
sick.
when people give me stuff, dude, that I don't get to report and make posts, and I just feel, and I'm gonna. This one's unbelievable. I have to.
That's awesome.
Dude. My teeth are flying out of my face in the picture, so I'm smiling so big, 'cause I'm way. He broke that thing out at 4 in the morning, and I was like, "Wow, man,
Yeah.
I can't believe that." So yeah, I got that to show off,
Shoot, I
man.
would have teared up a little bit. Well, hey, before we wrap up, you owe me two things. You owe me a tuna steak recipe,
Oh yeah, let me give you that. That's the
and you
last
got to
thing.
tell folks how do they get in on this
There you
hot
go.
tuna action.
All right, there you go. All right, let me get a quick swill. Here's your tuna recipe, guys. First, never rinse your fillets. I don't care what kind of fish it is. Never rinse your fillets. Never rinse your tuna. You're gonna take them tuna steaks out of the freezer, and you don't have any bloodline frozen ever in your vacuum sealed packs or that night. Here you're gonna go. You're gonna take that tuna steak, and you're gonna take it and you're gonna paper towel the outside if any blood on it, because that blood will like to seep in and make it fishy. So take your paper towel, get the blood off. Second thing you're gonna do is get your peanut oil. You can get your peanut oil out. You're gonna one of those little rubber silicone brushes, like a barbecue brush, and peanut oil one side, flip it over, peanut oil the other side. Next thing you do is get kosher salt, guys. Now you're gonna salt this tuna steak. Look, don't look. Let me tell you, back up. when you cut these tuna steaks, don't make a 2 incher, man. It's not going to be good. It's going to be great looking. Going to be cool as you did it. Do it once. I get it. But don't do it. Make it about 1.25 inches money. Not an inch. It's you can mess it. You can mess that up. But you want to go 1.25 inches. So after you're doing 1.25 inches, you want to go ahead and salt it. Now, when you salt this tuna steak, you want to salt it like it owes you money, man. Like just beat it. Like you would never eat it with that much salt possible in a million years. Salt it like that. So you salt it really good. Now, put a timer on your stove or somehow get a timer on your phone for 10 minutes. And then salt both sides, walk away in a paper plate.
Oh, okay.
Now,
And
look,
let it sit.
when you come back to your paper plate that was dry, it's gonna have an eighth of an inch of it's gonna burn salt crust into your tuna steak. So it's gonna literally saturate your plate with just burnt that salt in there. Now you can take a butter knife, you can flip that butter knife over. You're gonna pick up every steak. Don't do it on the plate. Don't be lazy. Pick that steak up. Pick one up at a time, and you're gonna brush with a paper towel near, and you're gonna brush that with the back of the butter knife. You're gonna get that salt right off it, nice and smooth. Follow the curls.
Ah,
Don't dig into that steak and mess it up. Do
gentle.
follow the curl, the little. It's
Uh-huh.
like a rainbow. Follow the thing. I don't like using the word, but follow the thing,
Yep.
and and get the salt off. All right. Now do it on both sides and get a new paper plate. Put the paper plate down. Put a new peanut oil on again. Now, the right when that 10 minutes goes beep 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 beep. I forgot to tell you this: is you turn on your stainless steel or your nonstick cooking pan. You can go cast iron as well,
Okay.
but you want that sucker on. I put it on 6.5 ish. No, you don't need to go that bad. I use stainless. You can go a little more. You can go 7 ish with the black ones. Anyway, you get that thing pretty piping, but you got to put peanut oil on it again. And this time you put another eighth, like a little tiny layer. Not a lot. You don't want to burning it up and flopping everywhere. Just enough. You want to put it just cover the bottom, a little bit extra. So now you got your peanut oil in there. You got on medium. Now you started all your now right when your peanut oil's on medium, you're doing all that. The time it takes to heat your pan is the time it takes to scrape the salt off your tuna steaks. Usually, if you have a regular family, 4 or 5, you go ahead, pull your salt off, put your oil back on. You re-oiled them, and then you take your garlic grinder, not garlic salt. You want a garlic grinder. Garlic powder might do it, but garlic grinder. Garlic grinder. Anyway, you get your garlic powder. That's what everyone's gonna have, and you get the garlic powder on there. Don't go over crazy on it. Just put it on both
Right.
sides, pretty good. And then you get by then your peanut oil is ready to go. Get a water in there, give it a little flick. If it pops, you're ready to rock. If it goes pop right off the bat, you're good to go. Get that thing in there. Now you're gonna take your steaks and you're gonna get your phone out. You're gonna start getting your story going, and you're gonna go. You're
Right.
gonna go. You're gonna put them on there, and it's gonna hurt. You're gonna get burned, but pretend like it doesn't. Though no one knows that in the videos. You get torched. That peanut oil's gonna pop and burn the crap out of you. But you know what? You get used to it over years, and you just burn, baby. And you get them steaks in there. If you try to do it with tongs, it'll do the same thing. But it'll anyway. But it'll rip the steak up. If you use the right silicone ones, it might work. Anyway, put them in there. As soon as you get all the steaks in there, put your timer on for 1 minute. All right. Now these things are gonna get going really good, really good, really good. Don't touch them. Right when that minute's up, you grab the first one that you put in there and grab it and squeeze it on the sides and mush it back and forth and take all the flavor off that pan. Just back and forth. Back. Oh yeah, I forgot bacon grease. A little hint of bacon grease. Whap if you got it.
Ooh,
If you got the
yeah.
bacon grease, just a little wham in there. Just and move it all around the oil. It's gonna smoke because the peanut oil doesn't have has a high smoking point. It won't smoke. But as soon as that
Got it.
bacon grease at the end and everything's pissed,
Psst. Yep.
bacon grease first. Don't put it in there in the beginning. Put it on there right before your steaks. So it won't still smoke. But if you put your steaks anyway. So
Yeah.
now you go. So you got your 1 minute. You've grabbed your steak. You're jiggling it back and forth. You're gonna flip that sucker over. It's gonna go again. You're gonna do the next one same way, all the way around, and then you're gonna do them for another minute. Now, if you see you're super red, maybe you didn't unfreeze them all the way or something. You didn't have them defrosted properly. You're gonna have to flip one up on one side only. Now you do the longest side on your steak, okay? That's the side you can get away with hitting, but the other sides are the delicate sides, and you don't want to mess those up. So the long side you can do, but you put it on there for like 5, 10 seconds, 20 more seconds, and that's it. But you do one more minute for the 1.25 inches. That's exactly how you make them, dude. And you put them on a plate apart, let them rest for like a minute and a half.
Good to
Boy,
go.
it's the
Some
best.
some white
Some
rice.
white rice.
Ah,
Wash the rice, no butter. Man, game on.
beautiful. And if folks are like, "Hey, I got to try
Shout
that
out.
recipe. I got to get it to do that. You got to have some tuna." So they got to book
Yeah,
a play and hooky trip. So how do they book
yeah.
play and hooky to get out there and catch their own tunas?
All right, guys, we got a couple days left in July on there, and we're gonna add a few days towards the end of the month. We've been saving for walk-ons or bush gardens or water country, so we'll see what's going on there. But we got some July open if you want to get some dates, and we're definitely doing mahi like crazy in August. So be ready to go offshore with the Playing Hooky boat. You're gonna go to playinghookycharters.com, or you're gonna go to playing_hooky_ charters at Instagram. You can go to Facebook and find us, Bill Pappas Jr., and you can call 757-619-3530, guys. And you guys give us a shout, man. We got lots more coming for you. We got some crazy videos to post still. We haven't posted, and we look forward to having more great things. And we appreciate everybody's support, and especially everybody who listens to this podcast. Luke is incredible. Our dynamic, I think, is pretty badass, and we should probably do a show one day, man. This is fun, man. This is good stuff, man. We always put some good stuff. I'll have some more stories for you. I didn't get to share this time. We ran out of time, but I'm saving some stories for you guys.
For the next time, which we
We
know is
know.
coming. Captain Bill, it's always a pleasure, man, and I could not agree more. It's like peanut butter and jelly, just getting to hang out with you and talk fishing, man. So
You
thank
got
you
it,
for
man.
always being on the show, and just thank you for being such a passionate fisherman, dude. I just love watching your stories because it's like you get that sunrise. I love that you're just like so stoked that the sun has risen and that it's
Every
beautiful
day.
out, and you're sharing that with everybody. Like, hey, have a great Friday, everybody. You know, it's freaking beautiful outside.
Yeah.
And then we get to watch all the fishing activity, and then we get to watch you back in the kitchen searing tuna steaks in the pan. So thank you for the recipe. Thank you for being who you are, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, buddy. Keep up the good
Absolutely.
hook, y'all.
Heck yeah. Folks, that's going to wrap up a really fun segment, talking everything from offshore, the recap of that awesome tuna tournament that he put together that benefited the King's Daughters, like almost like five
Yeah.
grand that they raised.
5,000. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
5,000.
Thank you for joining us this week. We hope you guys have some fun this weekend. Happy Father's Day to all our fathers out there, whether you're a dog dad, a real dad, or everything in between. We wish you a happy Father's Day weekend. Look forward to catching up with you next week. Tight lines, everybody. Be safe out there.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults age 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco.
If you're 21 or older and use nicotine or tobacco, it's time you charge ahead to Black Buffalo, America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative. Black Buffalo dips just like the real thing, but without the tobacco leaf or stem. Get it now at Wawa, Circle K, Sheetz, Love's, Pilot, Racetrack, and many more that you can see on their store locator at blackbuffalo.com. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative is everything you love about dip, nothing you don't. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap it up this week. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, to get your free APCO Camo Sunglasses Cleaner Cloth, text the acronym LCBFR to 779-345-2918 to get your promo code and be added to our email list so we can send you the new show each week. You guys keep on whacking them and be safe out there.